it's a bit of an update on the van. And the last couple of weeks I've been trying to get the electrics all sorted. And initially I was going to put in the 240 volts only, but now I decided to put in 12 volt system as well with a B2B charger, and that's proven to be the most challenging. But even getting the 240 volts into the van was quite difficult, because unfortunately on this van you can't put the input on the side panel. I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, normally you'd put the input for a 240 volt system sort of about here, about there on the van. Let's put it a bit across, you can see that. The problem with this van is, and it's the same on both sides, that when you open the side door, that goes right back across and leaves virtually no space to put a charging unit. You wouldn't get it in and out. So that presented a problem, which I seem to have overcome. So the charging point has gone in the back of the van. It's just here. It's right there. And then if I open up the van, you can see that the cable's gone up through the door and in through and into the van. And it would have been nice to have one of those, but I've been unable to obtain one because that is a part of a wiring loom and costs 95 quid. So I may go to a scrappy and get one, in which case this side can sit. But it's good, thick reinforced cable that I've got there. And then that comes in and down the van and goes into an RCD system here, which also gives me a little red light on there if I have a reverse polarity on the site. And then that's running up to sockets on there, and also in the middle of the van there's sockets as well, and over on this side of the van there's also sockets. So that's the 240 volt system, basically in a nutshell, sorted. So the next stage then was really getting a battery charger, well, not battery charger, it's a battery to battery charging system for a leisure battery. Now I have the location for the leisure battery, but getting through the bulkhead of the van proved extremely difficult, in fact almost impossible. So I opted to go out and under, and you can see the cable end here that I've got. It's very thick cable, it's also got reinforcing on it, and that goes down through the wing over the top of the wheel arch and comes up only for about a foot and a half before it then comes into the van through the floor just here, and there's the cable in even more stronger tubing to protect it, because the leisure battery is going to sit in here. There's a space there for it. It's the ideal space for it because it goes under this seat that raises up. This seat actually will come down then out of the way, so that's the great place for it. But it was quite a pain getting it in, but it is in. And the next stage really is to get hold of the charger for the battery charging system. So that's the next stage really, and it'll all be going through a fuse box as well, I might add. So yeah, next stage to come. Well, getting the van roof done, but I think the weather might have different ideas at the moment. And the thunderstorms were forecast for here today. These are pretty intense and pretty biblical, so I'm not sure how the day's going to go, how it's going to pan out. So today, probably the most difficult day of all, putting the ceiling up. Yeah. But I've looked to see what, I've got some very thin ply so it doesn't weigh anything. So I've already got insulation and what have you on the roof itself, all stuck on there. But I'm now putting up a ceiling which is going to be made of very thin ply, and that again will be insulated on the back and carpeted on the front, and probably have some lights put into it as well. Haven't quite decided that bit yet. Priority is to get it cut to shape and get it in, and then once I know it all fits, and I can screw it, bring it down, and do the various bits and pieces that I need to do to it. As I say, I'm going to back insulate it and then carpet the front of it, so the roof will be really, really well insulated, and that's probably the best bit because that is the thinnest bit of the metal, and that's the bit that's going to get wet and damp and cold. Well, not wet, but damp. Well, not even damp, cold. It's going to get cold. So that's the bit that I'm concentrating on now, and I'll just show you what I've done. I've put some battens up. I'm trying to not lose too much headroom because this is a very small van, so I don't want to lose much headroom at all, especially for me being so tall. Have a quick look. So the battens have gone up on the one side, and then this is all cut to shape and put down through. The lights come down obviously because that's got to be redone, and obviously the board I've got doesn't reach the full length, so I've got some more board to put up at the far end. And then once this is all secured, there's a gap. You can see the gap. It's about 2-3 inch gap, so that will be stuffed full of more insulation. Yeah, but also gives me room to put some downlights in there as well, which is probably what I'm going to do. Let's just sink them in there. So that's the next plan really, is to get the downlights ordered. But before I do any of that, I need to get this board up and make sure this is all nicely secured down the middle. And I put this batten on before to take it to, and that was a good idea doing that really, because the board again is not going to go right the way across, so there will be a little bit of a transition down through the middle, but I'm not overly concerned about that. It'll be carpeted over anyway, so you won't really see that. But yeah, so that's where we are with it at the moment, and cutting the boards to the shapes and all the rest of it. So next job is put the next batten up. Okay, God, but the wind is just, well, it's not raining anyway, so that's good. So where are we going with this van job? Well, the ceiling's up in 2 sections of it anyway, and now I'm kind of got a dilemma on because I mean, I've put it up temporarily, I've cut it to shape and everything, and I've still got a bit to do at the front, which is going to be different and shaped and has all sorts going on with it. And I was going to carpet it on the surface, but then I'm thinking to myself, hang on a minute, we're going to be cooking in this van at the back. Okay, the doors will be open, but not always. If it's chugging down rain, the doors might do I really want the cooking smells to go up into the carpet? Because that will happen, and then we'll have the smell of, cooking all the time. So I'm now thinking I may actually paint these panels when I'm ready to secure them, and that's not quite yet. But I think I'm going to paint them with, like, not wood stain, because they won't get. Well, hopefully they won't get any wear on them, because unless you push your head on them. So I'm thinking I'm going to paint them with wood, like furniture paint, grey furniture paint. So that's, and if I don't like it, then I can always carpet it with the top. But I think that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, so the light fittings have got to be done, but the ceiling is now in place and secured for the moment. Oh, when I take it down, there's more insulation going up behind it. So, but I need to get the lights for it first. So there we have it. It's 2 panels on the piece that went down the middle, which was intended to go down the middle, is absolutely fine. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. But I think I'm going to paint it, like I say.